This week, I'm going to lead you through a good morning yoga practice. This is a gentle practice for the whole body, just to get your body and your breath moving at the start of your day. Let's get started. For our morning practice, you don't need any props. So you can just have yourself, your mat, your space ready, and then come lie down on your back when you have that space. And I suggest having a little bit of extra room around your mat, as we are going to reach off the mat slightly as well. So if you need to still clear things out of the way, take your time. And then when you're ready, come lie down on the back. You could start with your knees bent, or you could take a moment with your legs extended. And then once you are lying down on the back, bring one hand onto your belly and bring the other hand somewhere where you can feel your ribs. Still trying to rest your elbows on the mat, on the floor, so you don't need to tense your shoulders. And then give yourself a few slightly slower and even bigger breaths in and out, so you can feel movements of your breaths. Inhaling through the nose and then exhaling either through the nose or mouth, whichever feels easier for you now. If you notice that there's tension in the shoulders or in the neck, you could gently rock your head from side to side, or you could gently shimmy your shoulders, move your shoulders on the mat. And take another breath or two in and out. We're not going back to sleep, so we're not going to spend too long here. Just checking in with the breath before we start to move. And then after those few breaths, if you have your legs extended, bend your knees, step your feet on the mat, and bring arms down next to your sides. Do a couple of windshield wipers, just gently rocking the legs from side to side. And then bring your legs and feet to a place where you could lift up into a bridge. We're going to do some moving bridge poses, moving our arms, lifting the back off the mat. So both feet pressing down, legs roughly hip-width apart, arms next to your sides. And then as you inhale, press down through the feet and lift your pelvis, your back off the mat. At the same time, lift your arms up towards the ceiling, and then continue moving your arms overhead. So you bring your arms all the way down on the floor overhead. Take another breath in your bridge. And then as you exhale, start to slowly bring your arms back. And together with your arms, bring your back, bring your pelvis onto the mat. And we'll repeat this a couple of times. Inhaling, lifting off the mat, reaching arms up, and then reaching arms overhead. Opening the front line, grounding the feet. Take another breath in, up in your bridge. And then as you exhale, start from the arms, just slowly reversing the arms, and then bring the back, bring the pelvis down, back onto the mat. One more time. With your in-breath, feet pressing down, lifting up through the pelvis, through the back, through the arms, opening the chest. You could rest arms on the floor overhead. Take another breath in. And then as you exhale, just slowly, again, reverse the arms, and then release the back, release the pelvis down. And then hug your right knee in towards the chest. Extend the left leg. You could lift your forehead towards the right knee, just rounding your upper spine. And then bring your head back down. Hold on to that right knee and start to gently circle the right thigh, the right hip. Couple of times. You might also just rock the leg from side to side, but just finding some gentle movement in the hip joint. And then leave your left hand on the right knee or thigh. Inhale and exhale. Gently guide your right leg out to the left side of the mat. Open your chest up towards the ceiling so you find yourself in this big reclining one-legged twist. Then we're going to start moving our right arm, right shoulder. Now as you exhale, close your chest, bring your right arm in front of you. And then as you inhale, circle that right arm overhead and back into that full reclining twist. Same again. Exhale, the right arm comes down to the hip in front of you. And then inhale, circle the arm overhead and behind you into that twist. One more circle. Exhale, closing the chest. And inhaling, opening the chest. One more time into that twist. Pause there to breathe. Softening the shoulders. And then slowly bring your right knee back to chest. Roll onto your back. And then we're going to change the legs the other way around. So now hug your left knee in, extend the right leg. And now you could lift your forehead towards the left knee. So you're going to round in your upper back, your neck. And then release your head, your shoulders down, and start to gently circle the left hip. Or it could be again just moving the leg from side to side by inviting some movement to your left hip. Your ankle, your foot could be flexed or pointed. Or you might even circle that left ankle. And then after a few circles, leave your right hand on the left knee or thigh. Inhale and exhale, cross your left leg over to the right side of the mat. Open your chest up towards the ceiling and open your left arm out to the left side of the mat. So we are in that same or similar reclining twist, but now on the other side. And we are going to move on this side as well. So inhale, and then as you exhale, circle that left arm down towards the left hip. Reach the arm in front of you. And then as you inhale, circle that left arm overhead and behind you into that twist. Same again. Exhaling, closing the twist. And with the in-breath, opening the twist, opening your chest up towards the ceiling. One more time. Exhaling, closing that twist. The left arm comes in front of you. And then with one more in-breath, open the chest. Find that twist one more time. Pause there to breathe. And softening the shoulders. And then slowly find your way out of the twist. This time hug both knees in towards the chest. And you could lift your forehead towards the knees so you're curling in. Flex your ankles and then reach hands to your feet, to the soles of the feet. Breathing here in and out, so really curling in. And then hold on to your feet, but now open your legs into a butterfly shape. You could bring either just heels together or soles of the feet together. You can wrap your hands around your feet and just gently, gently, you can reach your feet away from the chest, kind of opening your upper back. And then a little bit of a core challenge. We're going to stay in this butterfly shape, but we start to rock forward and back, trying to find our way up into a seat. So a few times rocking forward and back until you can bring yourself all the way up into that seated butterfly. And you could walk back a bit, create a bigger space between your feet and your hips. Step hands in front of the legs or keep hands around the feet. Inhale and exhale round your spine. You can bring your head further down towards the feet. And take a couple of breaths in and out. Just let your breaths move like waves through and along the spine. Just slowly helping you into that forward bend. But in the morning, forward bends can feel really tight. That's very okay, so don't force it. You might even gently rock from side to side if that eases your back, eases your hips. Take one more breath in and out in your butterfly. And then slowly, as you inhale, roll your back up. You can bring hands on the knees and gently open your chest. You could even look higher up. And then we're going to move into a flying deer pose. So now, leave your left hip open, close your right hip. So you bring your right leg next to you, behind you, in a deer shape. Step left hand next to you on the mat, so you can lean on to that left hand. And then as you inhale, lift your pelvis off the mat, opening through the front line and reach the right arm overhead. You could look up, you could look down. And then start to circle that right arm. Exhale, bring the right arm down, close to the right hip. And inhale, open that right arm back close to the head. Couple of times, a bit like in that twist, lying down. Just circling that right arm. One more time. Exhaling down, inhaling up, opening through the front line. And then exhale, release that deer down, release the arms down. And we change to the other side. So now turn onto your right hip, right leg in front of you, left leg next to you, slightly behind you, and right hand on the mat where you can lean onto that right hand. As you inhale, now lift your pelvis off the mat, reaching the left arm up. So you're opening the line from your left thigh into that left arm. And then circling the left arm. Exhale, circle the arm down. And inhale, reaching it back up, opening the chest. Exhaling down, again circling through the shoulder. Inhaling, reaching up overhead. One more time. Exhaling down. And inhaling up, open through the front line, and then exhale, release down. Come back into a seat, and this time hug your knees in that seated pose. You can bring head down towards the knees, and send a few breaths towards the back side of your body. Might even lean your head down towards the knees. And then slowly bring your back up. Again, open your chest. You might look up. And then from that seat, turn onto all fours. Bring yourself onto hands and knees. Hands roughly under your shoulders, knees roughly under your hips, and toes can be either tucked under or you can release the toes. Now start to circle gently from hands to knees, knees to hands, and at the same time invite some cat-cow-like movements in the spine. So disco cat, circling the weight from hands to knees while rounding and arching the spine. And then change the direction, going a few times the other way around. You can allow your neck, your head to follow those movements. Just breathing at your own pace. Noticing where you breathe in, noticing where you breathe out. One more breath, one more circle. And then find your way to center, what feels like center to you now. Tuck the toes under, and as you exhale, lift your pelvis up into a downward dog where we're going to move the feet. So pedaling the feet, walking from one foot to the other. You can also bend and straighten the knees. So it's really just giving movement for the legs. Also see how your shoulders feel. You could rock the pelvis a bit from side to side. And then from that downward dog, we're going to move into a big upward dog or big cobra. So inhale and exhale, shift the weight forward, and then open the whole front line. You might have your toes tucked under, or you can release your feet, release your toes. And then gently open through the chest. If it feels too intense now to keep the arms extended, you could also lower down onto your elbows into a sphinx pose. So you might come further down, and that might be a bit more gentle for the back. Just a couple of breaths, whether you're down in that sphinx or maybe you're all the way up in that full cobra pose. You can roll the shoulders away from the ears. And then with your next exhalation, slowly bring yourself all the way down on the mat, onto your belly, your chest. Leave your legs long on the mat. Bring arms behind your back. Interlock fingers behind the pelvis. And then as you inhale and exhale, peel your chest off the mat into a half locust pose. You might look forward. You might look down if that feels better in your neck. Just gently opening across the chest. You might turn your palms away from the head. So you might play with gently rotating through the forearms. Take another breath in and out. And then as you exhale, slowly release your chest down. Bring hands under the head for a couple of breaths, and you could either just rock the pelvis from side to side, or you could bend your knees, so feet turning up towards the ceiling, and then swing your shins, your feet from side to side, like windshield wipers. And then if you are, swing the legs. Bring your legs back down. Bring your feet, the tops of the feet back down. And then you have an option here. You can stay a bit longer lying down on your belly. Or if you would like to round your back into child's pose, you could Lift yourself onto hands and knees, and then lean pelvis down towards the feet, rounding your back. And then bringing head back down. See what feels good for you now. If you are choosing a child's pose, you might open legs wider. Allow your shoulders, neck to soften. You might also turn your head to one side or the other, whether you are in child's pose or down on the belly. And take a few more breaths in and out here. Allow the back of the neck, your jaw to soften. Then, with your next few breaths, from your belly or from that child's pose, bring yourself slowly onto hands and knees. And then from hands and knees, bring yourself into a seat, into your final seated pose. And that could be any easy pose of your choice. It could be legs crossed. You might sit on your knees. You might extend your legs in front of you. Find a place where your hands and arms would be free. And then with your next in-breath, lengthen arms up towards the ceiling. Bring palms together. Exhale, lower hands down in front of the chest. We'll do this 2 more times. With your own next in-breath, lengthen arms up. And then exhale, bring palms together and lower your hands in front of your chest. 1 more time, just following your pace. In-breath, lengthening up. And exhale, bring palms together in front of the chest. And then pause here for a moment. If you want, you might cross your thumbs, keeping palms together. You might lower your head down. If you want, you can close your eyes. Once more, notice your breath. Give yourself a few more calm, slow, rhythmic breaths here in and out. Just noticing the rhythm of your breath. Notice how you feel now as we are coming to the end of our practice together. And throughout the day, if you notice that you need a moment of calm, just let yourself find your breath, find this calm, soft rhythm of your own breath. Give yourself a little breathing break at any time of your day. And then, when you feel ready to close your practice, again, as always, at the end of the practice, most importantly, thank yourself for taking some time to move, to breathe, to check in with yourself at the start of your day. And I thank you very much for joining in, for sharing this moment, sharing this practice, and I wish you a wonderful day ahead. Namaste. Thank you.